is. There we go. Yeah, but bring this guy to the alt runs, and we've been getting him pretty juiced up. He's making some progress. I got the trinkets. I ended up getting a coin roll for the shield instead of whatever off item that I wanted. Oh yeah, and I didn't end up not having the glove replacement. This is my worst item, and I literally cannot get a replacement. Keep it up on M+, don't do a Mythic Raid, think it's time to quit. Have they released? I was gonna say, but what about the rewards for the end of the season? But honestly, I feel like we're finally gonna get into the end game of the season really soon. Because 1207 is gonna bring a little bit of borrowed power. It's basically like this spell book that you open up that you can kind of pick and choose between what secondary stats and like some other side buffs, some defensive, some leech, things like that. You have like a little bit of extra borrowed power there. I would never, John. I would never. Yeah, these last couple days are a little scuffed for hours. I'm trying to fit some streams in. I was unboxing the new PC, but I didn't have time to get it all set up yet. We're getting there. One step at a time. But it's sick. I'm like so excited about this. I'm like so excited about this. Because this whole like L-shaped panel actually just like pops out. So it's like super easy to mess around with and open up. Yeah, it's I think 64 gigs next, pretty sure. It's gonna be a 5080. It's gonna be a 5080 with a 9800 X3D, 64 gigs of RAM. Should be hype. Resil disc that hit a wall in 19, trying to get invites. And I signed up to 50 groups minimum a day. Might get one invite. I'm gonna have to push your own key. Push your own key. Keep friending tanks is probably the biggest thing I would say. Once you have like a reliable pocket basically of tanks to work with, then it's gonna be like a lot easier to have people to kind of rely on, you know? Honestly, Ed, I have the same thing, dude, where like I'll rip like a whole bunch of keys. All right, there we go. Sorry, like 3 people messaged me at once. We got a squad here, don't we? We got a squad here. Yo, thank you for the prime. Yeah, friend tanks, and then honestly, like as you start your day, just like message like 5 tanks or whatever it is. Just like spam message a bunch of the tanks and be like, yo, do you want a key? You want a key? Do you want a key? And like you're gonna have some days where like they don't pick up on it, and, you know, they don't want to go or whatever, or they're busy or whatever it might be. But then law of averages, right? What I was saying with Ed was that like I have those days where I literally just like cannot chest a key. I have these days where I like cannot chest a key. I had that with seat where like for 3 days or something like that I could not time a seat key, and then all of a sudden like everything just kind of came together. It was very strange.
5, 4.
It was very strange.
2, 1.
Nah, I'm doing some Herald right now. How harsh is the UI in the PC? I don't think it's harsh at all. Don't think it's harsh at all. A lot of add-on performance, I think, has gotten a lot better than previous expansions. I think it used to be a lot worse. Get Settles on Prez, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Settle's the best holy priest ever. Taught him everything I know. I think Pally's going to be in a good position, but the real problem with Paladin is that they're not going to be bringing a raid buff. And Mistweaver kind of just brings a combo of like infinite healing plus raid buff plus damage. And so like Pally's a good healer in dungeons, but it also doesn't have like one of the extra things, you know. Some specs are bringing a really good raid buff that buffs other people's damage. Some people are bringing a lot of personal damage themselves. You know, Pally brings like the first thing, which is the healing. But what's like the thing after that, you know? That looks boring compared to the spin to win Mistweaver. Wait, how though? You're just pressing one button. You're just pressing one button. I gotta do real stuff. I gotta do real stuff, man. That's awesome, Radix. Yeah, I was looking up like which DPS specs have done like high keys, and there's like 11 different DPS specs that have done the 22s, like the highest level of keys right now. It's kind of obscene. Yeah. DR, it's okay, but I don't think it's as significant as like what Monk or Druid or Shaman are bringing to the table right now, you know? Yeah, Rogue DR and Pally stuff should stack. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually so weird, like, actually having to press Light Addon. It takes some getting used to. I think I'm running an extra Light Addon talent that I shouldn't be right now. Any word on Voidweaver? No. That spec is dead and buried. I think it did 19s. I don't think it ever did. I don't think we ever saw any 20s. And then it kind of died off. It kind of just died. Yeah, Light Addon actually feels like a real button now. It's very nice. I'm so glad that Season 2 is going to be coming fast, too. Because, yeah, there's a lot of hero talents that are long overdue for some buffs. Yeah. Hopefully the balance be better, right? Because even in the times where, like, the Void Shields or the Void Weaver stuff was, like, really nuts. Or no, reverse that. Even in the times where Oracle shielding was really nuts in War Within, you were still getting, like, good value out of Void Weaver for people who liked playing that. You know? And we're getting Season 2, like, August. Like, we're getting raid testing for the 07 raid next week. Like, it's coming fast. It's coming really fast. We know, like, the Midnight expansion ones, George, but after that, no idea. After that, no clue. Yeah, but I'd have to imagine that we're getting the next expansion really, really quick. Or the next season, rather.
Buff disc.
So true, Storms. Thank you for the 41 months. This kind of gets, like, HPS capped, basically, Buddha. I feel like around 20s, you are, like, starting to fall off, basically. I was looking at a bunch of logs today as I was working on some video ideas, and I'm amazed by, like, Druid, Shaman, Mistweaver. They could just be healing forever, never oom. It's obscene. Dude, I hope they have some good changes coming up for, God, what is that dungeon called? The Troll Dungeon coming up? I know the one you mean. Den and Nalarak, yeah. It actually is called Nalarak, yeah. Yo, thank you, Mike. Yeah, I've been trying to get some stuff done before I go on vacation. Trying to juggle a million things. I got a thing coming up for a sponsor, and I thought I had it all the way they wanted it, and then they're like, actually, can you do it differently? And so I'm trying to figure out if I need to redo a bunch of stuff. But the cortisol spike right before I leave, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to change this or that. It was getting to me. Murder Row RP, yeah, and like, there's a good chance that they nerf a lot of the RP, but we don't know how much. Like, they're probably gonna keep some amount of it. Oh, we'll see. I feel like Brackenide Hollow was a lot worse than it before it became a dungeon, and everybody was anticipating it being so bad that it ended up actually being fine. So we'll see. So. The hallway. Just watch the DK do his thing. I feel like I have no impact here. Oh yeah, you guys see the DK, Prop Alley, Warrior buffs coming around? Should be pretty exciting. Sims to show which specs benefits more from PI for M+ multi-target. You have a Rogue Warrior comp. Hunter. I don't know how that one works out, actually. I would ask them. When in doubt, just ask. I feel like it would be the Hunter, but I'm not 100%. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, make him duel outside. There you go. There can be only one. I was gonna say, I feel like I'm doing more than 50k. Add-ons to the Mythic timer is just called M+ timer. What up, Rudy? Yeah, it's like a reload add-on. Yeah. Still no CDR for prop allies that remain at the bottom of the list. Yeah. They didn't seem like the buffs that I saw today didn't seem like they were going to be like meta defining. I was hearing that Lightsmith does more damage, but Herald is like better for healing.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Up and up out. But yeah, I think that for a while, Pallies were playing Lightsmith, and then they, after all the buffs to the spenders, they jumped back to Herald. Once they actually started making your spenders good. I think both specs have done like 20s at this point, at least. Yeah. Good luck, Ed. Be sure to tell your healer that he's not memorable. Like, yeah, take it or leave it. Okay, I get a bunch of whispers. Let me see, was it Simba or is it... Wait for another pandemic? Nah, that's not happening. It's not happening. We're canceling that before it begins. It was insane reading about that stuff, and then they're like, yeah, they just went home after the cruise ship, and yeah, it's no biggie. Yeah, if only we could, Lobo. Yep, that was what a lot of my video went over today. It was just like, there's still a lot of work they could be doing for the UI. And the virus isn't as transmittable. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's as transmittable, but also, isn't it like the more deadly a virus is, the less transmittable it's going to be, because it's not going to be able to like have a new host. But didn't people get it from like Antarctica or something crazy like that? Oh, is it South America? Okay, okay. I thought I saw that it was like a cruise ship to Antarctica, but yeah, maybe they just stopped in South America or something. Yeah. Argentina. They're on a cruise to Antarctica, was hiking or something in South America. Okay, okay, okay. Got it. Did you guys see the UFO stuff? Hang on. You just get a stun. It's about the best I got for you. That's all I got for you right now. Is that real? The government posted it, right? But who knows if it's real. The one that I like really like that actually like noticed or stood out was one that was like a blip that was like 8-sided or something like that. It was like this 8-sided star or something along those lines. Yeah, I mean, you know, don't believe everything you read. There's a bunch of like, ooh, this is like a little blip of light and like in very grainy footage. Wow. But yeah, it's interesting. I imagine if there was anything earth-shattering, they would just not tell us, because you know how people freak out. Iso, thanks so much for the new sub. I don't know. I'm a fan of conspiracy theories, but I don't necessarily believe them. Does that make sense? I like the idea of entertaining something. You're like, well, that'd be really cool if that was true. But I'm not gonna be like buying into it. It's like the mental exercise of what if this was a thing. Yeah, some of that stuff, like, I went down some rabbit hole of somebody posted on Twitter that they were, like, demons in the sky or something like that, and I was like, that's some crazy shit. Alright. Who was it? Somebody said, maybe it was, like, Max or something like that, where, like, reading Twitter sometimes is like going to the zoo. You know, it's entertaining to, like, see the crazy shit you read on there, but you don't want to be reading it every day. Because a lot of it's just genuinely batshit insane stuff. Alright. Did I clear it? Oh, I did, but I cleared it so fast it didn't move the arrow. There it is. Where does disdamage fall to the other DPS specs? Below average. Yeah. Below average. Now, Void Weaver's really high, but Void Weaver's healing also just falls off really hard. Yes, it's, I'll post it GPM. Yeah, I'll post it in chat. It does work. It's a one-time thing. You just got to put it in your game one time, and then you'll be good. I tuned in, and I saw they were running like a Disc Priest in like a Nexus point. But then I started getting to work and didn't watch much more than that. That's the macro. It's slash console camera smooth tracking style 0. Yeah. There's running no Apex talent, pushes 2 buttons. Love it. Love it. I think HPAL can bring like elite healing now, Pesty. But I'd kind of put him at like an A or A plus tier. Siddhartha, thanks so much for the prime. I'd probably put him at like an A or A plus tier. And that would basically just be because they're not bringing like a special raid buff. They're not bringing like an extra special thing, like where Mistweaver, yeah, the physical debuff isn't always that valuable depending on the comp you run. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But it also brings the best healer damage. You know, Paladin, especially when you're playing Herald, is like kind of whatever healer damage. The DR's fine, but not insane. And then they bring like really good utility. So I feel like it's kind of in that like A, but not S tier category. Pally buff build off Wowhead for recommend. Any chances change for M+. So they're running no Light of the Martyr. They're running no Light of the Martyr. I'm accidentally using it. I'm using the wrong talent build. But no Light of the Martyr, and then running Unending Light for the Light of Dawn buff, and then running 1 point in Breaking Dawn for more Light of the Dawn buff. Yeah. $216 bear clearing a Magister's 11. Yeah, seems good. Seems good, seems good. It's almost the raid build, but the raid build does run Martyr. So the raid build I'm running right now has Martyr. You basically change like a couple talents. So I played Lightsmith before. It does better damage, but it's not as good for healing. Disc is better for M+ Canis. Yeah, Lura, last boss of Seed is Kryptonite Dontoya. It really is. But one thing I think that also kind of helps is that at this point, I'm expecting to have a 3-phase for Lura at higher keys. So I'm honestly just sending PI as... I'm honestly just like ripping PI as my own cooldown. And the haste giving you extra penances also helps a lot. Yeah, it's just not as necessary Yi anymore. You do run it in raids though. I unfortunately forgot to change my talents. I'm still in the raid build. Thankfully, Pally's talent tree is really bad. And there's pretty minor differences between the builds. Least favorite dungeon to heal? Yeah, as Disc, I like healing most of Seat. But then that last boss, man. That last boss. Honestly, maybe Magister's Terrace at higher keys. I feel like it's a key that can get away from you really easily. And that hallway, you know? That hallway is nasty. No, but I have videos and stuff, Hippo, on my YouTube, which show you how to make it yourself if you want. Like the pink coloring and everything like that for the Apex talent for Paladins. I have a video that also just kind of goes over everything. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like what really bothers me in Nexus Point... I feel like what really bothers me in Nexus Point is the left side when you have to move so much and heal. And you're in a tight hallway, you gotta move, you gotta heal, you gotta keep on running all over the place. I feel like that's the biggest pain in the ass. Jeez. Alright. Oopsie, interrupted it. Don't play Priest. I'm just wondering, do you have a talent that's a mind control teammates away from the orbs on the second to last boss in Seat? Because if so, I might reroll. Afraid not, man. Afraid not. I wish. That would be really, really nice. Yeah, thanks for the game, and thank you, Michaels. Thank you, Mousy. Any healer I hate playing? I get kind of bored of playing Shaman. It's like, I'll like it for a key or two, and then I'd get kind of bored. Eh. I just need, like, something else. Yo, what up, Roland? Just follow stat prio, Canis. Haste crit. All your stats are like fairly close together, so you don't have to like, I need to hit this level of stats in order to do good healing kind of thing. You just need to play well. It was super clean, Michaels. Thanks for the carry. Welcome to the 90. Yeah, I gotta do some leveling. I gotta do some leveling too. MC your party to stay in range. You play Perez and Arnold over the damn place like a Jackson Pollock painting. True. Oh my god, I would always have it where I'd have a ranged person stand behind me, and every time I try to get in front of them, they would just like stand behind me again. I was like, man, like, it's like they know, dude. It's like they know. Dude, I bet our druid's a vibe, man. That spec just does insane amounts of healing and never runs out of mana. Actually obscene. Actually insane. Let's get on to priest. Full range druid that stayed in melee. I thought I was dreaming. Hi, Lyra. Yeah, a little bit of a late start. A bit of a late start. We're here. Let's see. I need a 19 Windrunner as disc. And then I need a couple 19s as Holy Priest. We shall see. We shall see. Vanilla WoW HPL healing is literally flash spam, and I remember love seeing the number go up based on your healing. Gave up in the Holy Priest life as an alt spec, just playing 3 Holy Paladins. Not much better of a life, but it's a cozy one. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah, Prez definitely feels like the least popular healer by a mile right now. I don't know, I feel like they made it more fun, but favorite iteration of disc. Ooh. I really enjoyed the Spirit Shell playstyles, both the Mop one where you'd cast Prayer of Healing to set up shields, and the Shadowlands one where you do damage to set up shields. But I also don't really want to bring that back because that was really busted. From like a more fair perspective, probably BFA. BFA, you know, Smite was a really big part of your output. You'd like squeeze as much healing out as you could. Penance damage felt really strong. Very beginning of BFA, penance damage was awful. To the point that you actually, the very, very, very beginning of BFA, you actually wouldn't even use offensive penance unless you had like move or something. But they fixed that up pretty quick. So by the end of the expansion, you actually were slamming. You were actually slamming it. But yeah, BFA, especially the end of BFA for M+, when you had all your corruption. Oh man, it felt like you did so much damage, so much healing. It was really satisfying. Yeah. Yeah, and like Powered Shield cost a ton of mana back in MOP, so you had to like only use it when you could have like the Rapture buff going around. Yeah. You had to be very strategic with it. Ooh, 20 Magisters. Drax, gamer. Oh man, I don't know if we could do Barack as well. I have 3 friends. If 3 friends sign up, who do you vouch for, guys? I'm vouching. Try to talk about AP like grinds again as a player who only gets to play after work. Bar power grind scare you? Yeah, I think Then the hunter, I think, would be best. Dread King. I know it's so funny to me, Grunt, because a lot of people like there's like mainline narratives, I guess is the best way to call it, right? There were like mainstream narratives back around Borrowed Power where like it was the worst thing ever and Blizzard hated us for doing it, for having it in the game, like putting it in the game and making us do all this kind of stuff. And then people are like, oh man, it was actually kind of fun. And then it kind of gets into the conversation again of like, oh, it'd be so cool if they brought it back. Yeah. I feel bad. I couldn't also vouch for Barack. I had to give the preference to the guildies first, you know? I haven't played with Barack in a minute. I think one thing that's sort of underrated with the whole Borrowed Power conversation, though, was that it really forced Blizzard to make more fun world activities and more creative world activities. I feel like anytime I'm doing like world activities on an alt or something like that, I think it's like the most boring stuff ever throughout War Within, or like I haven't done much in this expansion. But like War Within, I was just like, what's the point of some of these activities? You know? Awful LG will be with auditing power levels. Yeah, people are insane about that stuff, man. People are really insane about that kind of stuff. Yeah. And like, I want them to make really interesting world content, you know? I want there to be like an incentive to do the world content while you're waiting around in queue or waiting on people to get on or something like that. I think that stuff would be good, it'd be valuable, it'd be important, you know? What up, Meta? Howdy, howdy. But yeah, I also don't want to be in a position where I'm like, I have to grind this much on a character before I can actually play it and bring it into keys. Like, that sounds... bleh. Yep. Casual dad, and honestly have no issues if they brought AP grinds back. I understand I'm probably not going to do a 20 dungeon. I just play for fun with a limited time. Yeah. I do think that there is like a big subset of players who do want to just grind out the content, though, and always have some way to increase the power of their character. It's like, I get that. At the same time, though, if you can infinitely grind, then all the best players are going to be the ones who are spending the most time doing something, you know? Let me run to the bathroom real fast. We'll jump back in the conversation when I return. 1 sec. Let me do a 20 Magisters.
The terrace holds what we require to gain entry to the Void Storm, the Cynosure of Twilight.
All right. Expansion launch with praise and delve, some cool items like the Voidspire trinket. Think anything more is too much? That's true. I think having I very much like the idea of like doing world content at the start of a season, and then after that you kind of just like get away from it. Let's do that. Let's do that. It's actually so insane. You know how I always preach to you guys, like, friend people and like make sure you have people to game with and stuff, right? There's so many times where I put people on my friends list around like 4 or 5 p.m. and I'll stream like noon to 5, right? About my hours. I'll stream noon to 5, noon to 5, noon to 5. I'll add people, I'll do all this stuff, and I get on at noon, nobody's around. And the second I start streaming at 5, it's like, I got 5 different messages from people who are like, you gonna do 19s, you gonna do 20s? I'm like, oh my God. Why can't everybody be unemployed and want to play WoW at noon on a weekday? That would be amazing. Came from the Healing and Midnight video, finished the Toxicity season. I think it's just the fact that it's easier overall, that people have less patience. Yeah, 100%. Let's talk in the weekly key range. That is true. I've had we've had all kinds of stuff go wrong in 10s that people are like, don't worry, it'll be fine. But man, 14s, 15s and stuff, yeah, people's like patience, understanding, or whatever is insane. Ball Quinn. I body recomped. In the past month, actually. I dropped 2% body fat and gained like 3 pounds of muscle in a month. But now I'm going to go on vacation and I'm going to get a little fat again. But then, the rest of the summer. We'll buck up. On my number 2 on Tyke. I got to get this key done. 10 kilograms the past couple months. It's awesome, Canies. Let's go. More of the problematic players getting access to higher content due to lack of difficulty. I think I may actually prefer the DF and War Within difficulties, M plus the result. I can see that. 10 pounds last month, corporate bullshit, stress eating. When we get in the standing desk, man. In the standing desk in the treadmill. Hooters in your other guild, he only does disc and he is nowhere near CE. I told him the other day, Jack's coming and coming hard for you. He popped in. Yo, give him my regards, Kane. He popped in and he was chilling. He was saying I gotta catch him. He was being really chill. He was being really nice. Your pally this week in WoG moving HP bars. Dude, I know, Rage. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even hit Light of Dawn. You're using, you're not running Martyr in dungeons anymore. You hit Light of Dawn with Unending Light and 1 point of Breaking Dawn keys. It actually, like, does stuff, you know? True, we don't need Dragonflight or War Within Season 1's Tusk. That stuff was insane. That stuff was ridiculous. It only took like 4 buffs, Rage, you know? It only took like 4 buffs. Wad disc. Dude, you've been missing out, Castle. They kind of have. We are in a super shield heavy setup. Crazy, crazy shield setup. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for Finish here to be ready. Yeah. Yep, that I do know, Castle. Although, I'm just saying, Holy Priest is pretty fun, dude. Prayer of Healing actually does output. Yeah, the like House of Cards setup, it's like, it is RNG and it's also not RNG. You basically get like a deck of 3 cards for those who don't know. and 2 of the cards are blanks, and the 3rd card is a void shield. So you can actually get like back-to-back void shield casts if you have like blank, blank, and a void shield, and then your other deck is a void shield, and then a blank, and then a blank. But those downtime moments feel really bad. So, what can you do? I kind of wish it was every other penance, and then it was like 2 shields that would go out. And it would be like you and then the most injured target or something like that. I think that would, or your target and then the most injured target or something like that. Alright, here we go.
5,
Magisters 20.
3, 2, 1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The terrace holds what we require to gain entry to the Void Storm. The Cynosure of Twilight.
Unauthorized entry, please hold.
There we go. Crazy K, thank you for the prime. Let's get a little fear bomb. This video, so I played Holy Priest and High Keys. How is it now after the buffs? Started doing high and plus the disc, but just wondering. I really didn't notice the 6% buff, unfortunately. There's like an 8% one that we had before, and I felt like I really noticed that, but I barely noticed this last buff, unfortunately. Yeah. Nah, Big Mo, just hit the expert install. It'll give you an option between a full install and an expert install. Just select the expert mode, and then it basically gives you a menu where you can pick and choose. And then if you accidentally import anything, you could always just turn it off. It's through the Wago app, yeah. And if you ever import anything that you don't want, you can always just like turn it off by going to the profile menu. Yeah. If you want like a quick instruction, that Wago site itself, if you click like the Wago link, so it's like ui.wagopacks.com, that main site there, it'll also just walk you through like a quick step-by-step on how it all works. And it has some like pictures and stuff like that too. No! Man, I was just about to cast on it too. How to do the party frames, turn to black. It's part of the Aura Designer. So in the Aura Designer tab, you can change the entire health bar based on a certain conditional. So if they have Atonement, change health bar to gray. If you want a video about it, it's called like the best buff tracking or something like that. I made it like a month ago, and it'll walk you step by step through everything if you want to just see how I do it live. It's a really, really nice tool though. I do it for Echo, I do it for Atonement, I tried it for Riptide, it's kind of whatever. It's called Better Character Panel, Bradley.
To think Rama would go this far.
Yeah, that one's great. Anytime, anytime. Always looking to purge these shields if I can. Party CDs is mini CD. Yeah. That's the one, Wicked. Yep. It'll take you step by step through all of it. So you depend on boss fights, Samson, and then on trash a lot of times, you will offensive penance. Because you want to spread around your Shadow Word Pains. Because the more pain you have out, the more Shadow Mend you get out. And so it's really, really important to have like 100% coverage on everybody with it. And if you do, then you get a lot of Shadow Mend procs. Or yeah, maybe it's CC. You're right. I think it's CC. Yeah. I should have my editor have the Dispriest guide out tomorrow, but I gotta get a sponsor approval for it. So I think Monday or Tuesday. Oh. Stop yapping. Yeah. All right. There we go. Now we're in a good spot. Yep. I thought it was still the first knockback. I get distracted. What can you do? Oh, okay, you got it. Yeah, but this video will have raid and M+ tips aplenty. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get that out before I leave, because I'm going to be gone on Sunday, and I'll be gone for a little over a week. Get some vacation time in. Yeah, it honestly like couldn't have turned out to be a better time too. It's gonna come back, and then it's gonna be like the 07 patch right around the corner. And then right after the 07 patch, we're gonna have PTR for season 2, raid testing going in there. So much to do. Yeah, I love the like up tempo that they're doing, because I feel like the second season of an expansion is usually the slowest time. So them trying to make sure that they're getting it out faster, especially because it'll be before BlizzCon as well. Be very exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of like, my hope is that enough people are worried about those midnight dungeons and all the extra RP and other garbage that they're trying to throw into them, that they'll nerf them a bunch before it happens. Because that's what happened with Brackenhide Hollow. Brackenhide Hollow had like a lot more RP and other garbage that you had to deal with, and they actually nerfed a lot of that. So yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping. Yep, same with Tazvesh. Yeah. They changed to Super Tanky Turtle in Void Scar Arena. Yeah, yeah, that guy's fun. Very, very fun. No damage. Love Void Shields. Nah, you don't run any Shadow Word Pain spread for the raid. Not at all. Nice. The off spells. Yeah. No pet build any good for raids? Nah, unfortunately, you need the pet value. For that to go out. There we go. Just trying to time the penances so I can make sure that I have these penances going out at the moments I need them. Alright, big lust. There we go. Yo, Dozer, think of the 19 months. So. Yo, Solitaire, thank you for the new sub as well. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Prez for my guild. I brought it to some Mythic alt runs. I think I've done 16s or 18s or something like that. Yeah, done some like pretty moderate size keys. Some pretty moderate size keys with it. But I think it's a lot of fun. And I like how they're kind of like tweaking the builds and everything like that. I don't know what they could be adding more.
5, 4.
I mean, raid buff's the most obvious answer, of course.
1.
That's always the obvious one. I think the range and everything they have going on right now is solid. That one's always the toughest. I swear.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Man. That was a juicy, juicy crit. I'd love to see it.
Five, four, three, two, one.
There we go. It's gonna take a. I can get up and help drain actually. Addon for showing the cast is called My Action Tracker. What up, quick? Sorry, we're not as chatty right now. There is some large damage going out on me and the boys. Cannot be losing my boys to the yapping right now. There we go. Of course, Leaflet, I appreciate it, bro. We love the lurkers. I know the Prez gamers have always been really enthusiastic about like coming on to yap about Prez, so maybe that'll be what I do. Maybe that'll be what I do when I come back. Yapping. Running our gab. Blathering. There's a lot of good words for it. So if I'm wrong again, I apologize. We are annihilating this pack. I was gonna ask for PI on the next one. I'll just do it here. I guess it's all dying. Thought I would need it, but we're just chilling. Okay, just a second. Thank you. Wow, that was a crit. That was a large, large crit. mastery? I've got a little bit less mastery than crit, but they're close together. I've been kind of prioing like haste and then either crit or mastery after that. And so it's gotten like a pretty decent amount of balance on my gear. Yeah, I never really like specifically was going for mastery or anything, but I realized just like there's only so much haste crit gear, and so many of my pieces were like, hey, this is also haste mastery. I'm like, well, it's got more haste, sure, I'm on board. What the? Might be an Astra PI, we'll see. Oh, I see now. Oh, I want some surge procs. It's not bad for starting the fight with 20% mana. I seem to remember having an agreement with the game that I would get more surge procs when I'm at low mana, and I am trying to ask for the build to come in. Have I already walked 2.5 miles? No way. No way, man. Surge procs, bro! There we go. We had a surplus, you know, people had a surplus of HP. Don't worry about what other specs are doing with their mana and keys. It's no concern of ours. Game's perfectly balanced. Game's perfectly balanced. Don't want to talk. Getting in the fight with more mana when you started? Must be nice. Must be nice. We did a pally key earlier. I think we'll continue with disc keys after this, but we'll see. We'll see what we have in store.
Champion, I know what to do. I'll need to attune the Cynosure to the Void Storm. What is that monstrosity? You keep it occupied while I channel the spell and end this chaos.
Is this still like a long-term dot? Yeah, we missed a soak. We missed a soak. But like he died before. We have a res coming in a second. Yeah, I can't keep him alive. Oh my god, we need percent. No!
We have our way into the void
No, we're gonna brick it to percent.
and perhaps offer an apology for the near catastrophe.
Yeah.
Wish you had lasted a little.
I mean, we
longer.
had an orb hit. Like, we literally had an orb hit and it killed everybody. I think it was like a long-term dot. I forget what happens when the orb actually hits. Yo, Gagglin Bear, thank you for the prime, and Blick, thank you for the 19 months. What was this? Oh, yeah, it is a 40-second dot. Yeah, it is a 40-second dot. Yeah. Yeah, because I was just like shredding my mana, and like I know the fight's tough, right? But oh my goodness. Yep. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Yeah, we would have timed it, man. We would have timed it. Yeah, that was nuts. That was really nuts. Let me turn the fan on real quick. It's getting hot in here. Ooh. Our druid's still ahead of the pack if the changes and reset. I think it's gonna be a Mistweaver meta. I think we're headed towards a Mistweaver meta. Yeah. It's okay, it's Rizil. It's a Riziliki. Yeah, I think there's like 3 S tier healers. It's gonna be like Monk, Shaman, and Druid. But I think the like King might just pivot towards being Mistweaver. We'll see. That's what I think it's gonna be. We'll see, of course. Alright, let's run it back. Yeah, cast Levitate. Yep. That's right. We get right back into it. We get right back into it. We all made a couple mistakes each, so this is our time to shine.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The terrace holds what we require to gain entry to the void storm. The cynosure of Twilight.
Unauthorized entry, please hold.
Yeah, Mystery doesn't even have to worry until they get to a boss fight. You just spin to win until you get to a boss fight. I will say what's encouraging is they've been doing a lot more tuning mid-season than I think they ever had before. So I'm hoping that we have like a really interesting meta shaping up when we start doing like season 2 testing. I'm excited for it. Oh my god, the damage.
How I've missed this library. But we can't afford to linger here.
Unauthorized entry, please hold.
There we go. First I thought they were waiting for me because of mana, and I was like, oh, that's like really nice of them, but they don't have to do that. Then I realized it's just sitting there waiting for patrol.
You'll go no further, Umbric. These new defenses were specially made with you in mind.
I seem to be... All students must follow as. Policy demands compliance. Suppressive measures necessary. Please remain still.
Alright, now we hit Archangel. Hit all our defensives again. Fuck.
This
Yeah. Just like... I think I don't know, I think if we just wait for the knockback and then grab them. Man, that like collision of mechanics. Collision of mechanics, man, this is a killer. At least it was only at the start of the key. Actually, hang on one sec. Alright, there we go. Close the windows. It's getting hot in here. Food. And there we go. I do have AC on, but the this room's like kind of small, so it doesn't like cycle air as easily. When I turn on the treadmill and I have my computer going full blast, it just gets pretty hot. So I've got the AC on.
What we require to gain entry
5,
to the Void Storm.
4,
The
3,
Cynosure of
2,
Twilight.
1. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The terrace holds what we require to gain entry to the Void Storm. The Cynosure of Twilight.
Unauthorized entry. Please hold.
Shields drop, apply new ones. No damage whatsoever.
You were warned, Umbric. The terrace is forever closed.
Big sip.
Of course he left a message for me. I'm afraid you'll have to incapacitate the guards.
There we go. I can't believe for years we used to not have Brazil keys, and then we would just be like, well, we messed up the key, I guess we just don't do it for a week until we roll it into a new one. Or you'd like pool up a bunch of the same key to actually progress it. As they start dying. I think it always drives me crazy with the worms is like some of the worms will explode as they die, and the other ones will deal like a ton of damage when you pull them. Like this pull does a ton of damage when you pull them, and then the other ones will like explode when we're in the sentinel room. Nah, I wish the Nexus Point ring gave atonement healing. That would own. But nah, back in like Legion, they really cut down on extra effects like that, providing atonement output. We had this like trinket that would be like a minute and a half on use damage trinket, and it would produce atonement healing. It was an owl trinket back in Tomb of Sargeras, and that was one of the most absurd trinkets ever for Disc Priests. And after that point, yeah, they hard nerfed. They hard nerfed all that stuff. So I think for a while it did like minimal levels, and then they finally said, all right, no atonement healing from trinkets. Fun ass police company, yep. Undetected. I think it's pretty good snow in like Pit of Sauron especially. But yeah, I think there's some dungeons where it's like really, really good on. Other ones are just like, they're okay. So I think it's like close enough in value in a lot of cases where you can kind of just choose between one or another and be totally fine. We're kind of at this odd point, I think, with our talents where there's knockback. There we go. It's actually worked out pretty well. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the thing. Impossible to balance, but also it'd be fun as hell to get him. So. Yeah, I think we're going to, I think everybody is rolling to bear now. I saw an LFG today, like 70% bears or something like that. Something ridiculous. Brew can't even get a whole season. Yeah, I'm curious what the total overall damage buff is going to be for the 07 borrowed power stuff. Because I feel like some of the people who are in title range right now might be able to keep it or might be really close to it, but we'll see. The boss debuffs don't show? They should. Mine do. I guess like August mage. Yeah. End of July, early August kind of region. So it's funny, Sin. There was like an interview with Blizzard recently where they were like, yeah, we're like happy, we don't want to shake up the meta or something along those lines. And then they've just been like making a bunch of tank changes and, you know, the bear balance changes and everything. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. Yeah. So I don't know. Blizzard loves to say one thing and do another, but yeah. I don't know if they go back on it though, right? Maybe. Maybe. What level do key start hurting? 16, 18, something like that. Something like that. All right. Any situation I'd run barrier? I feel like they're like so close together. I feel like they're so close together. I think you could make like fair arguments to use barrier and everything. Like I don't think Guppies is great. I find that I just utilize it a lot more often as like a personal defensive because I feel like I'm the person that's more likely to die. You know? It's like, oh, a button I can personally use really effectively? Great, let's do that. You know? It's personally how I view it. It's like there, I'm like, I got a dot on me, I can just hit a button, eject. Get out of that bad situation. Yeah.
Fair enough. Stand down. I have permission from Lord Amar himself.
Both sides of the talent tree for Diz. Shadow of Death being almost useless in a shield build kind of blows. Give the shields and pets. Yeah, I feel like that'd be better. Too much of our talents are just, like, bad. There's, like, way too many talents that are just, like, straight up bad in the tree. Oh, Resto Shaman's like the easiest healer bullet. It's so easy to get into, man.
3, 2, 1.
So I usually, my like rule of thumb, Cowabunga, is I'll like use penance on enemies. I'll use penance on enemies on trash. And then I'll use penance on my allies on boss fights. That's usually how I do it. So that way you want to spread around a lot of dots with your Shadow Word Pain. More Shadow Word Pains that you get out. More Shadow Word Pains that you get out, the more Shadow Mends you get, and you just heal with that. You know, somebody's taking damage, you just deal with that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I'm gonna, I think like Tuesday or Wednesday. I think like Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week, I'll have the advanced guide out. Yeah, you bet, dude. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whew. That was probably the worst case scenario for who could get targeted there. If I'd be spread pain as well, that'd be insane, dude. Oh yeah, that's a good play. That's a good play.
Help me remove the wards around the finisher.
Please. There we go. Yo, good luck, Bullet. I wasn't pressured. I was worried about Kuthrak and Sin. I wasn't worried about myself. Yo, Carl Sagan's cat. Thanks for the new sub, bro. The Pally video, you bet, dude. There is an update since then where you are running, instead of running Light of the Martyr, you take those 2 points out and you run Breaking Dawn and Unending Light. And you actually can hit Light of Dawn in AoE scenarios. But otherwise, it's the same. I usually go for like 10k steps a day if I can. That's the goal. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. I didn't get a lot of dot spread here, so I ripped an uppies just to be safe. Just gonna do that. Some more dot spread. And more shields. So this next round of AoE, I should be slamming. There's my health pot coming into play. Yeah. Yeah, so I run talents to spread out my dots with penance. And so I'll penance enemies on trash, and then I'll penance allies on boss fights. Oof. It's mini CC, Coralina. I don't know why the text speech isn't working. Yeah, I know, right? That would make sense, you know? That would make sense. That would make sense. Kill it! Man. Good. Alright, mana is better than last time, so we take those. You definitely take those. Yeah, you bet, Zulu. Gotcha, bro. Now he's gonna make me run. Yeah, it's a Drakthir double jump. Drakthir double jump. It's so good for raiding. Yeah, doing well, Diacron. Hopefully you are as well, bro. Oh, it's making me run. See if I can keep a good shield here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it looks like everybody's prepping the bears and getting them ready for the rest of the season. Seems to be heading in that direction. Yeah, I'm gonna go on vacation on Sunday. I'll be gone for a little over a week, and then when I come back, I'm gonna really make a hard focus on monk especially, but probably some druid as well. Blizzard nerf the bear. I better do it quick then. So I feel like people are kind of seeing the signs that this is going to be the meta for the rest of the season if they don't. Yeah, still using dangerous frames. I love it. I'll probably make some changes to like my cooldown manager and everything for season 2. But I don't think I'm swapping off dangerous frames. We kind of had that expectation that like maybe we'd get some changes for Cell or something, and it never really materialized. Hey, no Jug. Working on a 20 Magisters, man. Yep. Yeah, I think you might be disappointed on the bear rug pull. We'll see, though. We'll see. Down to Midnight Falls a week ago? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Damn right, Merle. How you doing, man? There we go. Yeah, we finished World 42nd for Hall of Fame. Which is like right around where we finished last time. We were like 38th in Mana Forge Omega, so 4 ranks back, but still very close. Perfect.
Champion, I know what to do. I'll need to attune the Cynosure to the Void Storm.
I like Blizzard 8H Pal so much. I don't think that they play it.
You keep it
I
occupied.
don't think that they play it. I guess it's pretty toxic to say, but I've been kind of noticing a couple things in some dev interviews and some conversations where I don't think they play certain specs that they develop. And it would explain a lot with their design decisions. Got it? Alright. Waiting for you to figure it out. Become the dev for disc. They would never. They would never. Mufasa is getting a workout. He is getting a workout. All right, 3,800. Whew.
Have our way into the void storm. Let us and perhaps
Yeah, buddy.
offer an apology for the
Yeah, buddy. 0 deaths. 3.5 minutes to spare, too. Nice and clean. Super clean. Love to see it. Yeah. Super clean. Yeah, we spaced out our pain subs. Actually, they kept on being used on me because I was the most injured person. But I try to space them out for when somebody has a dot and they don't have a defensive and they're gonna soak a circle. So you just like you maximize the most damage reduction you can possibly take care of. Is that right? Sin and I took 0 avoidable damage. That's fucking crazy, by the way. And then the only thing Kuthrak hit was 1 tick. Literally 1 tick for 45k of his HP. Look at how much avoidable damage we took. That's fucking great. That's fucking awesome. I mean, this is... How many tiers has just been part of the world first? Most of them. Most of them. Not as many as Paladin over the past 10 years or something like that, but many of them. Yeah. It took a couple tries there. It took a couple tries. It took a sec. We got it. Same could be said for Holy. Me too. Yeah, man, me too. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, I am a seasoned healer, Earth, and I don't always get runs that clean. You know? I don't always get runs that clean. But we finally got 3,800. Bro, I wish all healers had combat res. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like role specific utility. Like every healer has a battle res. Every tank could have maybe like bloodlust, but I don't know. Maybe like every melee could have bloodlust or something like that. I don't know, but I feel like it's so annoying having to like figure out who is gonna bring the lust, who is gonna bring the whatever. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Oh yeah, I mean, Holy Priest is some of the worst mana. So, the like overarching theory, if anybody ever asks you like, why is healer balance bad in M+, right? Or why is it good, you know? by far the biggest thing. Like, balance in general is pretty good for healers being able to generally heal high-end content. But there are certain things that are really badly balanced. And one of them is mana. And it's that the best healers, in whatever order you want to put them, Mistweaver, Shaman, and Druid, don't care about mana. Almost never care about their mana. And they can blast tons of output on a dime. And Holy Priest and Disc especially, once they burn through their cooldowns, they have to burn their mana bar down to turn mana into additional healing. And very few other healers will do it at that level. And so you just have this situation where some healers really care about it, some of them don't, and the active mana regen tools are also really spread out. Where like Paladin will care about their mana if they have to cast enough Holy Light, but they have some kind of way through Shield of the Righteous to regen some mana. They don't have a great mana situation. They don't have like Druid, Shaman type mana situations, but they certainly have a better situation than you'll see out of they certainly have a better situation than like Holy Priest and Dis do. So yeah, it's just it's weird. It's very weird. I will prove you wrong. Rip by Rick have infinite mana? Must be nice. Thank you, Kinza. Yeah, Royal Lotus has got some good stuff. We got some good stuff. Let's see what's up next. So who's that girl there? A memory, but didn't at one point Priest have a way to provide mana to the party? Yeah, Symbol of Hope. Symbol of Hope. I haven't really played melee DPS in a minute, but I really enjoyed playing DK when I did. It has been quite a while, though. It has been quite a while, though. But, back in Warlords, I think, is when I started playing DK. At least playing it more seriously. And so I finished the raid tier around, like, low Hall of Fame as Disc, or no, it was actually Holy. It was Hellfire Citadel, so I finished it as Holy, and then I was like, oh, I really want to prog again because I was psycho and had no life, and so I made Jack Skellington, and I joined a guild called Cake Plantation, and I was like, hey, I already have experience with the raid. Let me come prog with you guys as DPS, and they're like, sure, because DK was really good that tier, so I joined him as Unholy. And then their tank left, and then I ended up playing Blood DK for them, for Archimond and for Manaroth. And that was when they had Breath of Sindragosa for Blood DKs. And what you would do is you would actually stack multi-strike, because every auto attack and every parry that you did, because whenever you parry, you also auto attack immediately, would also generate more runic power, which would be consumed by your breath. And so you could keep up like infinite Breath of Sindragosa all the time, just by actively tanking the boss. Yeah. And then I played it in Legion as well. Yeah. And Legion, it was a weekend raid team. I'm still friends with a bunch of them. I see them every BlizzCon. They're Seraph on Mal'Ganis. And so I would play DK for them. And then they needed healers, so then I went and started healing. But I think if I was ever going to do like a friend raid group, I would just play like an off roll or something. Needs to be a little bit different, you know? But yeah, I maybe played it in some alt runs here and there in BFA, but not much. I kind of fell off from there. Yeah. You prefer to void shield yourself, but it's not 100% of the time. Sometimes you get into situations where somebody's going to die or somebody's going to take incoming damage. You see that they're going to take damage, so you just void shield them. But I'd say, I don't know, 70-80% of my void shields are self-cast in dungeons. Something like that. So. those are good times. You self-shield because this talent called Prophet's Will. It makes your shields 30% stronger on yourself. And so when you also void shields, your shields also reflect damage out of your rank 3. So when you have a 30% larger shield, that not only just keeps you safer, and you're usually one of the squishiest targets in a run, but also it reflects more damage, which turns into more atonement healing. So, yep. And then when you have Shadow Mends, if everyone's taking equal damage, you would prefer to cast it on other people, because Shadow Mend hits like a truck, and you have Leech, but then you also have Binding Heals, which heals you for 20% of the amount. And so some of these like lay on hands value heals are also healing you for like 15 or 20% of your HP. So it's not 100%. It's not, you know, all of the time, but you kind of lean towards, I don't know, 70, 80% of the time void shielding yourself. And then depending on the situation, shadow mending other people. Yeah. 7% of the time, every time. Yeah. Yo, Thuit, thank you for the new sub, dude. Welcome in, welcome in. Had a monk up 3K. Should I try just for more of a challenge? Sure. Oh yeah, F5. Watching Tettle's heal made you bench your DPS main. I mean, that makes sense. You know, you don't want to queue into a dungeon that he's healing you. It's a great risk. And for free long enough, it might as well still get ads. I appreciate it, man. Let's see your first pack without Eng. If it goes south, just do two casters standard. Okay. This looks good to me. This looks good to me. Yo, what up, Krell? For incoming damage, yeah.
4, 3, 2.
Let's
1.
ride. I played Prez on
3, 2.
first 3 Avoid Spire, Salad Bar, Voracious, Salad Bar, Voracious, Aversian, and Chimeras. So far. I pally killed those guys, and also, what was the other one? Dragons. Yeah, he killed dragons this past week. Doing that. Running up. Uh-oh. No.
Only the strongest survive.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I think disc. Paladins is definitely. Well, we didn't mean to pull that stuff. I like mine soothed it. We still walked into it, unfortunately. But what can you do? It's a Rizilki. It's a Rizilki. Paladins, I feel like, is like one of the worst fights. I mean, it's a good fight for disc, but I also think it's one of the fights that is awkward to play as disc, I guess you could say. But I do think that disc is insanely good on the next 3 fights after that. Those are the ones I feel like are going to be insane. Get on the bus, Mac. Get on board. Did I not? Oh, I have Hardy. Okay.
5,
I was like,
4,
did I
3,
somehow eat and forgot about it?
1.
Lathraxian, give up this foolishness. We have already won.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lathraxian, give up this foolishness. We have already won. You put all of Silvermoon in danger. This isn't worth the risk.
The pots above the frame are better cooldown manager. Yeah. Okay, now, okay, we are fighting it. Yeah. Oh, no! No! I was casting the button. No. Bam.
Only the strongest.
I was literally mid-cast for a Shadow Mend, and then I would have cleared it. Oh, he shapeshifted. Oh, okay. I was like, no way, he took like that much damage that fast. He just said he shapeshifted. I was mid-cast and audibly screamed. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah. He shapeshifted. It's all good. We all get a little shapeshift now and then. Just for fun. This time for sure, though. This time for sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who hasn't done a shapeshift every now and then?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lathraxian, give up this foolishness. We have already won. You put all of Silvermoon in danger. This isn't worth the risk. There seem to be a few pieces missing. We have to find them if we're going to stop Lathraxian.
Hit that button. Could hit that button. We're rolling. Oh, he is healing. I'm like teeing up to cast a Shadow Mend on him, and he is just healing so much. It's crazy. starts taking too much damage, we can always drop the Shadowmans. It's really nice to hit the uppies here because it'll also make you immune to the circles. And so if you do it whenever you are on cooldown with your fade, and that's also an easy way to still clear the circles. I'm running ahead. Oh yeah, Chirpy's nuts. Boom. Have a little pains up. I think he's got cooldowns for next pull. Let's see. Let's see how this theory goes. And we got our fade back. Perfect timing. There we go. I see his hair out. There we go. You and I, nothing comes easy, nothing comes easy. You never know with that wall, man. I blinked through that wall on my Prez the other day. It procced me. What? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Of course. God damn it, yeah. I can't clear it. Yeah. I fucked up. Yeah. Nah, I was like 2 seconds off my first CD. Yeah. Oh, you never get the Shadowman procs in this fight. I gotta just hold on to Avenge and make sure I have it for that first part. It's such a pain in the ass. This is like, it's not the hardest heal check for Disc, but it's one of the most annoying because you just have to have some kind of cooldowns up to deal with it. And so you just like Evangel, uppies, Evangel again, and it would have been fine because I would have the uppies for the second wave, and I would have had pot for it and everything too. But yeah, it was just kind of cringe. It was just kind of cringe. So, Mistweaver's gonna be stronger, Winka. Yeah. Yeah, Mistweaver's gonna be stronger. So. Spin to win, pretty much. This one's Brazil. I don't have 20 Brazil yet. We're working on it. We're working on it. I don't know what happened to our guy, though. $19 AA last night. Oh, let's go, dude. What, are you taking a warrior still? What are you playing as? This you run trash pulls, but way easy on trash pulls, way harder on bosses. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When you can't just like spin to win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's wild. You gotta start working. The Warriors is BFA, lucky big buff coming on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm curious, how big of a buff is it coming up for Warriors? Yeah. I feel like what I've heard from everybody is that it's still going to be a like bear season from what we've seen. Yeah. I just better not awaken anything in me. How you doing, Shep? Oh my gosh. I gotta do a fresh watch of community, man. It's been a minute. Yo, Little Tell, thank you for the 10 months. Prop Pally surpasses bear? Really? Interesting. I heard that Prop Pally got the biggest of the buffs, or at least that's what I was told. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be really insane. I love playing with Prop Paladins when they're good. when they're strong. It's really nice for disc. Yeah. Yeah. Popping up a ton of your YouTube shorts. Oh man, when's the movie? I think it's like later this year. Their build will be fixed. Spam and Moonfire looks so unfun. No Apex. Yeah, I'm really curious if they make like a fast snap reaction to it, or if they're gonna just try to buff other people up around it or something. Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As it being a bear season effect, our druid, it would be Mistweaver, I think, through it. Yeah. Because Mistweaver does by far the most damage of all the healers. A lot of it's pad from spin and stuff, but it's still AoE is AoE. AoE is AoE. Gotta make sure I don't rip threat off any heals or anything. Cause I don't want to. Hey, nice. I didn't want to hit. Did he get a hit or? I don't understand. Yeah. Did you get hit? Melee'd? Oh, it was a bolt. Yeah.
Only the strongest survive.
Nerf Monk until they buff the other tanks to see where they all land. Yeah, and it's so weird how it took like a much longer period of time to actually make tank changes compared to everything else. Yeah. True, buff pres. I think we are gonna get at some point in this expansion. I think at some point in this expansion we're gonna get a pres season. I don't know when, but I think it's gonna happen at some point. Yep. Yo, Semis, thanks so much for the new sub. Welcome in, welcome in. All again, pres in the same bubble. The dream is when you have like a good variety of like multiple different things that are strong. Yeah.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
It was underwhelming, but it seems like they're kind of like slow walking pres changes.
5,
They're like
4,
slowly making improvements. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, I got a lot of dots out. Where's my Shadowmans? There we go. Yo, Yannings, thanks so much for the prime, bro. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, I'm just gonna hit it here. That way I get it back for when I need it. So I just gotta be really careful. Yeah, I gotta be careful about when I'm hitting my final evangelism. The final evangelism is gonna be the tough one. So I gotta have it for the beginning of the boss fight. I'm getting out of there. So this seems like a good time. Seems like a really good time, in fact. Dude, I feel you, Dave. And I just can't. Really made me think. I'm like, how many times have I heard this song over the years? I honestly don't care, because it's better. It gets better and better every time. It really doesn't. But it's just the price I paid. Okay, I'm feeling better about our timing for our first evangelism here. Feeling a lot better. And I got my pot, and I made sure I didn't burn my pot at the start, just to make sure I would have it here. Like 20 seconds or something like that from the poll. Yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time. No, I won't mess with any of your keybinds and stuff like that. If you import my edit mode, then it will change your action bar settings, but you can always choose to not have that as well if you don't want to. And like everything that you import, you can also turn off. So there's never going to be anything where it like screws over your entire stuff and you can't go back. You might use my edit mode where it positions the action bars. You might be like, nah, this sucks, this ain't for me, and you can easily just turn it off. There is take backsies. Yeah, no Shadow Fiend. There we go. There's a few different ways you can like make your mana better. One of which is you will use offensive penance on trash rather than Shadow or Pain spamming. This is going to save you some mana. Another is you don't really cast many radiances and you basically just take advantage of the 40% discount radiances, and those will be the majority of the radiances that you spend. That is a mighty amount of defensives. That's a mighty amount of defensives. Yeah, I thought that did surprise me, Dan. Thought the same thing. I guess we're just gonna do this. I think I have time to wait around and tank it. We are in danger a little bit. Yeah. I don't know where he is. If only, Savage. If only, man. Fossil level is 2 and last Tuesday he's already doing 20s. Yep, bear power, baby. I also love just how easy it is to get characters. I love how easy it is to get characters together. Start a petition? I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't have too much hope. I don't have too much hope. Corporations be corporations. Yeah, you know. People be some lying scumbags. What can you do? Yeah, I appreciate it through it. I'm knocking the smudges in. We're doing that. Yeah, I miss hanging with Sloot. I've been lurking into his stream the past couple days too, seeing what he's up to. He's been playing a lot of Diablo. Those are the days, man. Getting paints up here. Can you imagine if like Shadowmen regenerated mana for you or something? I'm just like watching my mana just like slowly tick down and just trying to be as conservative as I can over the course of a bunch of pulls before I get the next opportunity to drink. Oh, we did get a Dread Flail. You got your Shadow Fiend, which we're not running here. It generates mana. You get a little bit of mana back from your powered shields getting absorbed. But that's about it. That's about it.
What a miserable display. You have all failed in your purpose.
Yeah, this build does a bunch of healing. It does a bunch of healing. Because you just have a larger focus on your absorbs, and like, especially when you know the damage is coming, you can soak up so much before pressure goes out on your team. It's insane, actually. But yeah, you basically just gotta play it safe with your mana for a while. Not overcast powered shields. I just sent the evangelism there, the archangel there, just to make sure I have it on cooldown. Because I want to have it for the first AoE here. Should be okay. So we have another round of ads after this. Res just requires like so much setup, Nomad. And almost like a wind up to get your healing together. So it's like, oh, you topped everybody? Okay. They took more damage though. So now you gotta set all your healing up again and kind of go back once again to set up all that healing. So it's this constant sort of battle that you're fighting against. It's been getting better, but the healer still requires like a lot more setup and a lot more effort really than I think most everybody else does. And it's almost like a fighting game where you're kind of like playing off of multiple combos to set up your healing. Whereas some healers can just like, I put out regrowths and I smashed, or I put out rejuves and I smashed the regrowth button and everyone's fine. And I can keep on healing forever for a low mana cost. Yay. It's like very, very different. Yeah. Very, very different. Not a recommendation for beginners. I don't think we PI this. I think we just hold. I think the second to the Nexus hallway is the Magister's Terrace hallway. Yeah. That one is very, very nasty. "25 seconds. Stay very far away. Alright, they both get a powered shield. Oh my god, look at those void shields. Exclamation mark UI will have the add-on list. I wonder how much that does damage to me. Let's see. Oh, we gotta run.
You got the last conduit. Make sure to send them over. Lophraxian, this isn't what the light demands of us. Think of the lives that will be lost. Just trust us.
Spam, spam, spam. All right.
Starting the bridge now.
Tragic. I'm just gonna void shoot myself. We void shoot ourselves. It's like 70% of our HP here, and we just tank. And we just tank the melee hits. I think the DK has like the entire flock on him. Oh shit, the flare. No. I didn't even see what the range was. I thought he was gonna get hit. And we mass the spell. Damn, these guys got annihilated. Holy shit. See what one of the MDI teams did? They brought a Disc Priest. Ooh, just enough. Oh, just enough. All right. the boss. 2 people all still on that bridge. Kill both of them. Nice. Sounds like week 1 NBA. Damn, it consumed every bit of my shields. Was it Finch? One more tick. When you're the first guy to find the right guy and have to ping it because I can't do anything. Honestly, my eyes just kind of glaze over every intermission. But I'm like, I hope they get it. Good luck, guys. Cheering for you. I'm like, man, they sure are taking a while. Hopefully they figure it out soon. Good luck, guys. Here, I'll look around. I actually found it. I actually did look at it at that time. Yeah. They're just professionals at it. Don't have to worry. Should hit uppies and rip it as my defensive here. Yeah, I got it for subs, but I also have some videos that show you how to make it yourself, Teep, if you're interested. I got 2 different videos that go over my settings and show you how to do all this stuff if you want to do it that way too. Oh, you mean from the beginning of the stream, Roman? Oh, we got a point! Easy. We got a point! That's some good IO. That's some good IO. Two Long Island iced tea, some spiced rum, and a beer in. I need to do a welfare check in a few hours. All right, I will. Shit, I might go get a drink as well. What do I need for 20 Brazils? I need a bunch of 20s. I have been just plugging it up. Talents? Yeah, sure. Here we go. Yeah, talents right here. You should reroll Shaman or Misweaver from Druid. I think it's going to be Monk. I think it's going to be Monk. Disc is stronger native. Yeah. I think it's like Monk for the infinite damage that it does, plus super, super powerful healing. Yeah. And it's also just fun. Yeah. Today off, so I've turned to alcoholism. Yeah, I saw you on Diablo earlier. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, I was working on a video and everything, Socrates. I'll probably finish recording it tomorrow. I think it's going to be a Monk angle if Bear stays in its place. It's just like a really good synergy that they have together, and Monk is doing like 2 or 3 times the amount of damage that the others are dealing. But it could just be like Monk and Shaman staying dominant, Druid falling off a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, did it make you dizzy, Taz? They both offer a lot, and so that's why I'm like, it could just be Shaman and Monk being the top 2, and then you see Druid just drop a little bit or something. But I think if anything, it's going to be like, dropping a little bit is still going to be S tier, you know? You can have some radiances, but it's mainly to like help you prep for incoming healing. So whenever you're in the healing absorb setup for the first boss, the Korite, you can cast some extra radiances in advance because usually your mana on that fight's really good. So you can more aggressively cast radiances to help you set up for that that extra damage. That's the idea. But the thing is, there's just like not like if you have only 2 points to spend. You only have 2 more points to spend. You don't really have any good spots to put it. Blaze is actually like really bad. I know it looks like it would be good. It looks like a good talent, but it's actually not. They're like really bad. So you're just kind of like strapped for like good options. I'd probably go in on Monk, but I also think that Shaman's kind of boring to play. So, but I don't think you could go wrong with either one. If I had to say, I think it would be Monk, but I don't think that either would be bad. Yeah. Yeah. Which is easier? I think Shaman. You kind of get into a situation with Monk where like you can spin all the way up into like super high level keys, and that's going to be the optimal setup and everything for you, and you're just going to crush it, and it's going to be fantastic. And then you hit a point where you actually have to learn. Can't you drop second radiance? It locks to or it gets you to shield discipline, and shield discipline actually is a good button, and Holy Ray is like decent enough. So problem is you need 2 points here, and then you need 3 to get all the pet talents. The routing is like a really big issue. Yeah. The routing is a really big issue. Playing Druid first time, don't like the gameplay as a Shaman main, so switching from Druid to Shaman or Monk wouldn't be shooting yourself in the leg. No, I don't think so. I think you're going to have Shaman and Monk competing for the #1 slot, but they're both going to be really good. And then I think Druid's going to be like #3, but also still like S tier quality. Like you're still going to see people doing 21s, 22s, probably 23s when we get some more power and stuff like that with all 3 of those healers, you know? Yeah. I think you more mana from Shadow or Death Pet or Shield Discipline. Usually the Shadow or Death Pet, but again, it's the talent points that are the constraint. You could go 2 points here, but then you need to get 3 points to get all of this stuff, right? Like you could drop, I don't know, like we were talking about here, but you can't go down there, right? The points and like where you spend them. You could get like that point, right? And then, but you can't drop like the Shadow or Pain points or something like that. The issue that exists for this tree is that it's just very, very expensive to get to useful things. So these talents are still useful, but the cost and what you have to drop in order to go back and get them is the problem. And then you'd be like dropping your shield talents or something like that. So you're just at a point where you're losing opportunity costs. You're fighting against opportunity costs. That's the main issue. Yep. That's the thing. As long as you have time to drink, you can like stretch your mana for a while. The problem is, like most instances, your mana consumption is not like super high. You just don't regen. And so if you don't regen, you know, you'll always be at a deficit until you can drink some water. And then once you drink water, everyone freaks the fuck out because they're like, I can't sit here for 2 seconds and let you drink, healer. But then, you know, you'll time keys with like a minute to spare, 30 seconds to spare, or whatever it might be. Like, keys are not as razor close as people make them out to be. But yeah. So it goes. So it goes. Yeah, I'll do a little welfare check on you, John. Don't worry. I am going to head out for the night, guys. I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably just be finishing up some video work and everything like that. So I have some videos to post on vacation. So I'll probably be off for about a week and a half before I get back onto streaming and everything like that. So if I don't see you sooner, keep an eye on the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. If you guys watch any short form content or anything like that, we got all those channels and everything at AutomaticJak. I have shorts already planned, and I have one video that I'm going to be posting probably like Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's going to be an advanced disc guide. And then I'm working on one more to post as well. So I hope that they don't change the meta too much, because it's going to talk about what we just talked about. But yeah, it'll be the perfect time for some vacation and stuff like that. I'm really excited. I'll take a bunch of pictures. I'll share them on Twitter and all that other good stuff. But thank you for all the love, guys. Thank you for making this possible from the beginning. Love you faces and really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. Take it easy, guys.